Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning, project management and agile Scrum, quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500.
Hello everyone, my name is Pratibha and I'll be your moderator today. So a very warm welcome back to all of you in one more impactful session of learning and development. If you have any query or if you want to know more regarding the GSDC, please feel free to use the chat box. So let's start with today's session. I hope you're all ready for that. Just allow me a minute to share my screen. Meanwhile, please do let us know from where you guys are watching. We would be happy to know that. So just allow me a minute and we'll be starting with it. So on behalf of the Global Skill Development Council, I'm truly delighted to welcome you all into the GSDC Certified Learning, the Learning and Development Reset, Redefining Skills, Strategies, and Business Impact of the Year Ahead. Designing future-ready skills that drive impact. And one of the things which make this webinar so interesting is the amazing expert panel we have lined up for you. Some of them have already delivered a very incredible and insightful sessions, and others are all set to bring in more powerful ideas. So, for those who have joined with us for the very first time, let me give you a quick introduction who we are. Global Skill Development Council is a globally recognized certification body. We are accredited by ABICB. Till yet, we have a 250,000 professionals certified with us. We are associated with 100 plus training partners across globe. We are also associated with 500 plus subject matter experts who contribute to our program. We are partnered with 1,000 plus multinational companies and 50 plus universities worldwide. So these are the training partners who are associated with us from the Canada, Africa, Australia, Nigeria, Singapore, Asia, and many other countries. So special thanks to all training partners for helping us improving our program. And a very special thank you to our media partner, WordPress Hub, for covering all of our press releases and event releases. So before starting the session, I just wanted to make a quick announcement that we have launched a very unique platform called GSDC AI Studio, Lifelong Learning Initiative. In the GSDC AI Studio, you will be going to get 100 plus live monthly sessions with global expert, including 4 daily sessions, 45-minute live expert lead session for hands-on learning, sessions from global expert. You can learn directly from our AI leaders around the world. Real time practice, you can apply concept immediately and get your question answered. Certification ready, you will be getting the training aligned with industry standard for job ready skills. As currently we are serving 100+ certification in our portfolio, including the learning and development, HR, Gen AI, Agentic AI, emerging technologies, ISO lead auditor and implementer, project management and PMO, Agile DevOps and SRE, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and many more. But once you get certified with GSDC, you just don't walk away with the certification. You also become a part of our community, which comes with GSDC membership benefit, including lifelong membership, certification upgrade, workshop, boot camps, learning club access, also the full benefit of GSDC AI Studio, and many more. With that, it's time to welcome our today's speaker. If you guys are following with us from a very long time, you would be aware that Charity has already given one session earlier with us, and it was a very impactful and insightful session. So, once again, today we have Charity on the demand of you guys. So, let me give you a quick introduction regarding the Charity before handing over the mic. So, Charity McDonald is an internationally published author, consultant, keynote speaker, and a leadership strategies who guides high achiever to become big receiver without burnout. She is the founder and chief learning officer of CRWN Institute, pronounced Cron, and creator of the Cron framework. She supports both organizations and business leaders with learning strategies for more lucrative outcomes. Her 15 plus years background includes higher education, edtech consulting at the enterprise level, and executive career coaching. She has presented and led training on professional development, learning strategies, leadership wellness, and women's history. Charity has been interviewed by the LA Times regarding the impact of AI in the job market. For the past 3 years, she is recognized as a top LinkedIn creator with nearly 14K followers. But before handing over the virtual mic, just a quick reminder, if you have any query regarding the GSDC or if you would like to connect with Charity in middle of the session, otherwise end of the session regarding any question or any guidance, please feel free to use the chat box. Once again, don't be shy. Drop your reactions, emojis, and quick comment into the chat. That's how we know you are with us, actively listening and absorbing from this insightful session. We have also an announcement to make at the end of today's session, which is a $400 worth gift certification voucher. With that, it's time to welcome once again Charity on our platform. Thank you so much, Charity, coming on our platform. We're very honored to have you as our speaker. Nice seeing you again. The stage is all yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I'm excited to be here again, and I look forward to sharing the insights today about AI-powered learning programs. So we're going to go ahead and get started and learn a little bit more about me, but also you'll learn the different ways that AI is actually changing how learning is disseminated and how people are able to learn a lot faster, more effectively, more efficiently. So we're going to go ahead and get started when the slides come up. Thank you.
Just allow me a minute for sharing the slide.
Okay, no problem. And I see you guys in the chat have shared where you're from. So I'm obviously from the States. So I represent North America. I'm on the East Coast in New Jersey. So it's good to see that there's an international base here. And I look forward to, the discussion and you all's questions that you have towards the end.
So I hope you're able to see the slide.
Yes, I can see the slide. Thank you. So again, my topic for today is AI-powered learning programs, how AI is transforming training and development in the workplace. And we can go to the next slide. Today, you're going to learn a few things. We're going to focus on 3 specific areas, and you can go to the next slide. Thank you. So number 1 is how AI is revolutionizing learning programs. And we can go to the next slide to learn number 2. Discover the applications of AI in personal learning experiences. And then finally, understand the impact of AI on learning outcomes and efficiency. So we can go to the next slide. So a bit about me. I believe there was a really great overview already provided about what I do. So I want to kind of emphasize why. So I'm the founder of Crown Institute, and the work that I do is to support both leaders, organizations, owners of businesses to become high receivers without burnout. So I'm working with a high achiever, and the goal overall is to support them in their next level in leadership. So whether that is through learning strategy, business outcomes, the branding of the organization, that is how I support them. And I also do AI training now. So I am a career technical education instructor, and I work with a AI education company where I provide support with qualitative research in helping them improve the LLMs, which are large learning models, so that AI can be more efficient at supporting people with learning on a much larger scale than what I'm able to do as an individual. So we can go to the next slide.
Cherry, I'm on next slide. Are you able to see it?
Okay, I see it now. I see it now. So, again, I do ed tech. I'm a brand partner and AI trainer, as I mentioned. And yeah, I think it's very important the work that's being done. I'm acknowledged on LinkedIn for in a lot of different ways, and I am a co-author of the book Women Work in Leadership. So if that is something that you guys are like interested in learning more about what I do and how you can get in contact with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. That's where I am proactively, where I am most of the time. So that is a great way to be able to get in contact with me. And we can go to the next slide.
Are you able to see? I hope you're able to see the next slide.
Okay. I guess there is a slight delay because I'm only able to see the next slide a few moments after you're saying that it's the next slide. So there's a bit of a delay, but that's okay. Um, okay, if we go back one slide,
Okay.
thank you. Yeah, the agenda is AI revolution in learning programs, as I said earlier. So you will hear me saying some things more than one time, and that's just to reinforce the learning. Applications of AI and personal LX. So LX is just a shortened way of me putting learning experience. And finally, we're going to talk about AI's impact on learning outcomes. And those of you who have questions, you can share them at the end once again. So we'll move forward to the next slide. Thank you. So the learning AI revolution is taking place now. I do want to just kind of do a disclaimer. Most of the content that I will be referring to is from 2024 and 2025. So we are now in 2026, and I'm almost confident that the numbers that are listed here they're going to be somewhat higher and it's probably significantly higher in certain cases. So I just want to keep that in mind because AI is changing that rapidly. So just bear that in mind, right? So it's already pretty impressive that 4 out of 5 professionals want to learn more about AI. So this is something that a lot of people want to learn, and for good reason. 90% of organizations, they worry about retention. So that is like the number one issue across the board, regardless of sector, regardless of the industry. And this is a worldwide challenge. Okay, so AI is a viable solution to scale learning and development. And we can go to the next slide. Okay, so we're talking about the traditional learning challenges. So typically at training, the issues are that the learning is one size fit all. I know that font is a little small, but it's one size fit all learning, and it's a little slower. There are some people who learn at different capacities, right? So we're able to, with AI, provide learning that is personalized. And also, it's going to be tailored to the learner, right? So it's based off the engagement, their experiences, their skills. And a lot of times with the previous training models, there would be very low engagement. The outcomes would not necessarily be solely tied to the business. So there would be a weak return on investment with these uh, training development processes that took place prior to the age of AI. And there are obviously retention issues, as I mentioned earlier. So with the retention issues, people don't necessarily like leave companies just because they're doing it selfishly. And it's not to say that can't be the case sometimes, but for the most part, it is because of the stagnant nature of that company's ability to train that talent and move it in the direction to where they are actually able to, get to their next level. We can go to the next slide. Okay, so what is AI learning? A lot of people, I think when they hear, AI, they just think of it in one particular way as is if it is something that replaces one's position. And I'm here basically to challenge that notion that it is an opportunity to extend the opportunities that you have in business and in leadership as well. So, what AI learning does is it identifies skills, and as I said earlier, personalizes the learning strategy. So it recommends content and measures impact effectively. So you're able to look at your experience, your skills, and your background to get a personalized learning experience. Everyone does not learn the same. Some of us are more auditory, some of us are more visual, some are more hands-on. So AI is able to provide an experience that is more tailored to the learner. And why AI now? So it is a great solution because it is a smarter design, it's a smarter delivery, and it's smarter in terms of measuring the outcomes. So it is a fraction of time that it would take a traditional learning and development program to be created and to be executed. Those things are they're not taking as much time with AI. And we can go to the next slide. So AI powered learning stats. So this is the part where I said this is a lot of these stats are from 2024, 2025. So more than likely the number that I'm sharing is much higher, right? So the time saved, AI saves 4 hours a week. And this is in terms of the learning and development experience. And it says by 2029, it will be 12 hours per week. Now, personally, I can just say for myself as a service provider that the number is much higher than 4 hours per week, okay, for myself. And I am a learning and development consultant and a fractional CLO. The time is much higher. So it's kind of between that 4 and 12. I would say it's more like 8 hours are saved, given the time it takes to create and initiate materials to then execute on that delivery. I believe that it helps a lot with the preparation and the actual positioning of this learning strategy for it to be presented. So it's going to be a lot faster. But this is according to Routers in 2024. Okay, so that's 2024. We're now in 2026. So I'm certain that number is a lot higher per the hours per week that are saved. So AI adoption, generative AI adoption is over 54%. And that source is from the Federal Reserve Bank in St. Louis, which is in the United States, St. Louis, Missouri, in the United States. And that is from last year. So I can tell you confidently that that number is higher. It's definitely higher than 54%. That's just based off last year's assessment. And in that particular article, it actually said by each year it was a 10% increase. So this number, I would guess, is definitely over 60%, and it may very well be over 70% by the time we've reached the conclusion of 2026. So we can go to the next slide. So again, the AI-powered learning stats include investment. 9 out of 10 executives are increasing their learning and development investment into their organizations. And this is according to the LinkedIn Workplace Learning Report from 2024. So what that means is that if executives are in fact increasing, in their investments in L&D, that means that there's obviously a need that has to be met. And also, AI allows a proactive solution. So we're not necessarily always being reactive to what's happening, but we're also being mindful of our other options, right? So 9 out of 10 executives, that's a pretty high number. Um, could I say 10 out of 10 executives will be increasing L&D investment? That is a possibility. That's definitely a possibility in the not too distant future. And again, that is from 2024. AI outcomes include 57% higher retention and 23% more mobility in the learning and development space. And again, this is according to the LinkedIn Workplace Learning Report in 2024. Again, these numbers that are listed are going to be much higher now. I would actually say, from my estimation and based off the context of these articles, these numbers are going to be closer to, instead of 57%, it might be 67, or higher. And instead of 23, it might be 33%, more mobility in L&D. I also want to point out that specifically where I'm from in the United States of America, there actually has been a huge change and restructuring corporations with L&D. A lot of companies removed L&D leaders. Not the leaders, not the executives, but they removed a lot of the positions that supported the executives because of the advancements in AI. And at the same time, what they're also doing is they're investing in AI strategists who can come and help to employ that change management for that organization. And we can go to the next slide. So the past learning experience versus the present learning experience, it included, the focus is just training, delivery, and LMS ownership, which these things are still important, but it was a reactive support role. So there wasn't necessarily a dedicated learning executive, and most corporations, they did not have a dedicated learning executive. They do have one for certain industries like ed tech and things of that nature, or the technology space in general. They may have a dedicated person, but usually a learning executive was basically a byproduct or a sub-function of someone who operated at the C-suite in HR or talent management. It wasn't necessarily like a dedicated function that just stands by itself. And I talked more about that in my first talk with the GSDC regarding how the CLO role has changed, right? So the focus is compliance before. This is not to say compliance is still not going to be a focus, because it's one of many focuses now in the present. So L&D after the focus is actually AI literate and AI literacy, right? in the L&D space and governance. So compliance is one thing, governance is another. It's to the next level, if you will. It's kind of like saying the difference between confidence and conviction. Confidence is this idea that you can do things well. Conviction is an unwavering belief that you will do well, right? That it will happen. So the AI literacy and governance, ethical, inclusive influence, and proactive workforce strategy. So what that means is that people who are now in these learning executive roles, they're going to have to employ themselves to be work futurists, and they're going to have to be strategic partners in their organizations across multiple divisions of their organization. And the focus is the business outcomes, as opposed to, I just created a training because I think this would be really great and people will like it. That is not sufficient. The focus is going to be the business outcomes. So the learning strategy has to directly impact their business outcomes, as I stressed in my previous keynote that I gave with the GSDC. And we can go to the next slide. So why does all of this matter? Any of the things I'm talking about as it relates to the AI learning programs? And the data says that skill gaps, it equals business risks. So AI is moving at such a rapid pace that it's outpacing the job description role alignment and the traditional way that we go about talent acquisition and talent management. Also, new L&D expectations in organizations, they're going to emphasize AI-powered learning. That is going to be the focus. So it's really not like, this is not like, a side dish. It's going to be a main course as it relates to the learning process. But the real main course is actually leveraging AI so that more focus can be on the human aspects of the role. When you are a learning executive or you're a learning professional, there's going to be more emphasis on you being stronger in your human interaction, because the things that can be done with AI, those things can be delegated to AI essentially. And you're going to really have to strengthen your ability to effectively communicate and collaborate as a strategic leader. Ethics and workforce equity are extremely imperative as well. And we can go to the next slide. Thank you for the comments in the chat. I'll definitely review them. So AI revolution in learning and development. Skill mapping is really imperative. So it's important to know for organizational success, and it's essential to effective learning strategy that the AI program learning is able to identify critical skills. And this is based off a report by Deloitte from 2024 as well. Also, the gap analysis, AI is able to help us bridge that gap between where we are and where we need to go. When it comes to the issue of retention, which is a big worry for most organizations, we're able to identify those gaps. And instead of just being reactive to the issues in learning strategy, we're able to be proactive. So we can help an emerging leader to be developed to that next step, right? So a more practical way of looking at it is, if you have issues with performance with your team, if you have issues with developing the leaders, the future leaders, right, for the organization, you're being proactive about it by utilizing AI-powered learning transformation and strategy. That's going to help you bridge that gap by having personalized learning experiences. And we can go to the next slide. Application of AI powered learning, again, just re-emphasizing the point from Deloitte. They're stating the importance of how AI can make an impact in the learning paths. So this is for professionals and organizations. The internal mobility is sustained through AI-assisted personalized learning. So this is with adaptive quizzes based on the skill and experience of each learner. When I say internal mobility, that is referring to retention. That's just like, a fancy way, I guess you could say it. But learning paths are very important for each person that is part of the team. whether they are an implementer, a doer that is operating at the assistant level, right? If they are a manager and they're operating more in the mid-level space, if they are senior leader, if they're executive, internal mobility is imperative across the board regarding retention. That's regardless of the level that the learner is at, that the professional is at. It's going to be very important to emphasize that, amongst other things. So let's get to the next slide. So the impact of AI learning outcomes and efficiency. This was pretty much the second point that the presentation is to make. So the core is engagement, right? So career goal learners engage 4 times more with AI-powered learning programs. And this is based off, again, the LinkedIn Workplace Learning Report from 2024. And again, I'm going to stress that that 4 times more is probably 5 times more by now, because that was 2024, okay? And the rate at which AI has just rapidly evolved and adapted into a lot of emerging learning concepts, the number is going to continue to grow, okay? And I'm stating that it's likely more because of the personalization. It's more aligned to skills, it's more aligned to experiences, it's more aligned to you. So I'm restating that fact of personalization being a reason that engagement will go up. Also, measuring AI, you know, you're able to track the efficiency, you're able to see how effective it is in real time. And the measurements, there are more predictable ways to see what the outcomes can be. But also, it extends the feedback loop. So you're able to know, like if you are coaching someone, you're able to see, okay, with the numbers, you're able to tell a story with data. You're able to see in real time how the change is taking place. And you're able to see it a lot faster with the AI learning program. And we can go to the next slide. So in conclusion, ethical AI, it really emphasizes transparency, also privacy, bias checks, human oversight. There are lots of things that we can get wrong that I believe with ethical AI, which I'm a full advocate for, that is what I stressed in my interview with the LA Times back in 2023, 3 months after OpenAI had launched ChatGPT. They wanted to know my opinion on the impact of AI in career strategy. And I've really, overstand the importance of ethical AI and that being at the focal point. AI is not, it is not thinking for us. The prompt engineering and all of that is only as good as the thoughts that we have ourselves. And the emphasis is to delegate the responsibility to AI, but we're also able to get better at the human aspect of leading. The impact. AI-powered learning is making a huge impact, as I've already stated with the different references that I made from my sources. It empowers people to grow and thrive. And it's not just limited to a professional sense of growth, but also personally. It needs to be used in an ethical manner. And we can go to the next slide. So this is just listing my sources so that they're clearly laid out. The LinkedIn Workplace Learning Report of 2024, Router's A Future of Professionals article in 2024, Deloitte, which is a very well-known global establishment for consulting. So they had a report on human capital insights from 2024. And then the Federal Bank Reserve in St. Louis, Missouri, in the USA. That was from 2025. And the stats that came from each of them were very insightful. Most of what I used, it actually came from the LinkedIn Workplace Learning Report in 2024. That was why I kind of gave that precursor that some of these numbers are likely much higher now, because the report kind of stressed the fact, excuse me, not that particular report. One of the reports stressed the fact that each year there would be an increase of 10% based off the trend and the information that they gained from previous years, that each year there would be a 10% increase. And there will also be an increase in the hours saved each week, right? From now till 2029. So keep that in mind. And we can go to the next slide. So if you all have questions, I definitely wanted to ensure there were time for questions.
First of all, thank you so much, Eddie, for the amazing and impactful session.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure our participants have learned a lot. So we do have a few questions from the LinkedIn and YouTube participant. But before that, Prabhakar wants to ask, do you have any suggestion for important chat GPT for L&D professional?
Yes. So that's more of a general question for a very specific outcome. So I want people to keep in mind, like when you're asking a question, um, if you can be more specific, that would be helpful. There are many ways that, just to answer the question in a more general way, in the manner that it's asked, there are many ways that you can leverage Chat GPT, or should I say GPTs, for learning and development. There are many ways to do that. And you could be a little more specific in your ask so that I can, be more specific with the response. Are there other questions?
Uh, Thank you so much for that answer, Sharti. So we do have other question as well. So the first question we have from the participant of YouTube, how is AI currently being leveraged to personalize learning experience for employee across different roles and a skill level? Do you have any thoughts on this?
Can you repeat the question? I literally saw like another question come up as you're talking, but okay. Can you
How
repeat the
is
question, please?
AI, how is AI leveraging just one second. Let me go through the YouTube again. Yeah. So how is AI currently being leveraged to personalize learning experience for employees across different roles and skills levels? So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so organizations, they vary in their approach, but specifically what generally happens when AI is being implemented, the first thing that's happening, even for the organization, it's being specifically implemented for that organization's needs. So what happens is that same thing, it kind of repeats itself for the individual learner. So that would start with a needs assessment. The person who's utilizing the AI powered learning program is going to be assessed first, and that will immediately tell them what the next steps will be in learning. So for instance, if somebody is in the system and they're looking to, let's say they are training them, in AI, they're going to look at what that person's role is specifically, what their understanding is specifically, and if they're trying to grow their skills in AI, they might say, what are your experiences in AI? It may be a conversational tool, it may be an assessment. For those who are familiar with like SWOT analysis, that's essentially what would happen first, is an assessment would be on the strengths and weaknesses of the learner, the opportunities that may be missed out, and then what are the possible challenges that would present themselves. So you're coming into it filtered through an assessment first. Then you're going to get the information needed through the learning process. And I hope that that makes sense.
So thank you so much for the detailed and thoughtful answer. So in chat we have a question from Banga. How can we get the replay record of this lecture? So participant, I would like to inform you all that from now onwards we have stopped sharing the recorded session or the PPT personally, but we do have a platform of elements in the GSDC AI Studio where you can check. I'll be sharing the contact person to whom you can connect for LMS platform, otherwise for GSDC AI Studio platform. You can connect with that person directly, and you can ask for the guidance or the recorded session or whatever you need regarding the lectures. So, next question we have, what challenges do organizations face when implementing AI powered learning programs, and how can they overcome them?
Yes, there are many challenges as far as how they can overcome them. That's a very loaded question. I would just address the first part of the question because that's what we have time for. So, um, how do you identify the challenges that come with implementing AI learning, AI-powered learning? So primarily, the main issue is change management. There are people who will obviously be resistant to AI-powered learning because well, there are people who have beliefs that are not that pleasant towards the idea of AI. They may feel that something is coming in to take away their autonomy within their role or take away aspects of their role. There's a real challenge and concern around how AI is utilized in the workplace. So that can be the main issue. And then, just in general, there are a lot of people who do not want to change the structure of how they do things, right? And especially people who are more tenured. They may be accustomed to a certain way that they have learned, and they may not understand the benefits of AI, how that can help them in the process. And unfortunately, there are some people who they don't have an interest in AI, even though we're seeing from the research that's rare, but it is absolutely a concern and a challenge of a lot of organizations. And organizations they don't necessarily always know how to correctly implement AI into their organizations. I've had some conversations with those who are change management consultants, who are AI executives, and they're stating one of the main challenges is that the organization's understanding of what AI is supposed to do and how it's supposed to do it, when they're implementing, they're just basically purchasing AI licensing tools for people to learn, but they're not necessarily understanding how it could be implemented, and they're not investing in an actual support team behind the AI change consultant that will be helping to implement it. They just assume that, like, hey, we're just going to pay for AI and it will just take care of itself with just having a consultant come in and cross-train all these different departments that intersect that is relevant to that role. And the reality is that it's way beyond that. So how to fix those challenges, that is something that I would invite you, if you have an organization, to contact me for more details, because that's an entire presentation in itself, just from that topic alone, of how you will overcome those challenges.
Thank you so much for the detailed and thoughtful answer, Charity. So we have next question. Can you share example of AI-driven tools that have significantly improved training outcomes or engagement in organizations?
Yeah, so that's difficult to say because it could be a combination of AI-powered tools, and it depends on that corporation, that company, the individuals that they're training, right? The budgets that these companies have. And I would not be able to advise a specific tool or set of tools based off the question because it is a bit vague. So that's something, again, that you're more than welcome to give more detail and reach out to me directly on LinkedIn for.
Thank you so much for the amazing answer. So we have one more question. What ethical considerations should organizations keep in mind while using AI in employee learning and development?
So AI, just for clarity, as I mentioned a little earlier, the opinions on AI vary. They vary, right? So although most of the opinions are more positive from what the research shows, there are, in that positivity, some of that is a bit uninformed, right? The positivity can come from assuming that AI is just this immediate answer that just comes in and just covers a multitude of era and challenges, and people are forgetting that AI is powered by human beings. So with human beings powering AI and training AI, there can be some challenges there, right? There can be bias from who is training AI. There can be just simple errors, right? If you actually go on OpenAI, so if you go to ChatGPT, for instance, and you look, there's literally fine print that says that there can be mistakes, that there can be errors. It literally says it in fine print when you're putting in a prompt. So that's just to give a general overview, right? When we're saying to use AI ethically, it's to keep in mind that there can be shortcomings around artificial intelligence. And what we're doing is proactively combating that by making sure it is more ethical to use. So this is referring to sustainability, the social responsibility of the organization, that it's being used in a way that's going to make sense and help the organizations. It's not going to be something that's like abused to get out of working and things of that nature, right? It's being used for the things that it can be used for, but the person is still ultimately at the end of the day, a human being is still needed to direct how it's used and also bring it through different channels to ensure that the ethics is there. That's why there's such a huge emphasis on governance now. If you look at the AI realm, a huge emphasis is placed on governance and making sure that AI is being used in a compliant way that is legal, okay? Because it can be a liability for certain organizations if they're not using it the correct and ethical way.
Thank you so much for the amazing and insightful answer. So that was all for today's question answer. So, participant, as we are moving forward with the next part of the session, I'm sharing Charity's LinkedIn ID into the chat box so that you don't miss out. Please do connect with her for any query or any guidance. I'm sure she would be happy to help you out. Right, Gauri? Right, Charity?
Absolutely.
So, before moving forward, would you like to give any final statement?
I want to thank everyone who came out, everyone who's watching this live, and everyone who is will be watching the replay. I thank everybody for coming out, and I'm looking forward to you guys connecting with me on LinkedIn if you're not currently connected with me, and also just doing your due diligence to learn how AI-powered learning programs to support you as a professional. And I look forward to continuing this amazing process with the Global Skill Development Council. Thank you so much for having me as a keynote. Once again, I thank you.
Thank you so much, Charity. We are very honored to have you once again on our session and looking forward to having in the future session as well. And thank you so much once again for the amazing and impactful session. I'm sure our participants have learned a lot today and they'll be connecting you too on the LinkedIn for more guidance. So, moving forward for the next part of the session, not keeping you and the participant for very long. So, just allow me a minute. I'll be sharing a next slide. So, participant, if you are ready for taking the learning and development certification, so the certifications are available on our website now. We are also giving a complimentary coupon code to all of our participants. So this coupon code will give you a 20% off. So if you are ready to get certified in learning and development, check out our website. Opt for the certification. Use the coupon code link which I've sent you in the chat and take the 20% off and get certified. Also, the 20% off discount is for a very limited time of period, so make sure you're taking the advantage of it. Apart from that, as yesterday's session, I had shared this that we have started taking a separate feedback also from now onwards. So I have shared a Microsoft form link. This is an open form link, and and the feedback names will be anonymous. So you can share your feedbacks over there regarding the session key takeaways and learning outcomes. I'm sharing once again the form link so that you don't miss out. Please do drop your feedbacks and suggestions over there. It helps us to improve our learning program for you. And just before wrapping up the session, I just wanted to make a quick announcement. Although it's been a quiet, I have started introducing the utility tool, and I've already started getting positive response and positive feedback from the participant who are on their currently job hunting journey, that this tool has helped them a lot. So if you're on your job hunting journey, or if you would like to explore your profile, what you can do, you can log in into utility tool by using your LinkedIn ID and password, and it will give you a recommendation according to the job designation you're targeting and the industry you're targeting. It will re-improvise your LinkedIn profile, and it will make your resume stand off in front of the HRs and recruiters. So making your job hunting journey even more easier, we are giving a coupon code to all of our participants, which will give you 100% off for using this tool. I have shared the coupon code link into the chat box so that you don't miss out. The offer is also for a very limited time of period, so make sure you're taking the advantage of it. So if you're on your job hunting journey, take the help of utility tool, use the coupon code link, get 100% off, and stand out your resume in front of the HRs and recruiters. And also the all the best to all of the job hunters out there. As today we had an impactful and amazing session with Charity, tomorrow we are going to have one more amazing session with Vicky. So Vicky is a learning and development professional, and the session is going to be held at the same time on 5th February at 9:30 a.m. Central, 11:30 p.m. Singapore, 9 p.m. Indian, and 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Also, if you're an ISO enthusiastic people, then this session is for you, because we have added a lot of new modules and new trends for you. And this is going to be conducted from 2nd Feb to 6th Feb at 8:30 a.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Singapore, 8 p.m. Indian, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And if you are one of those people who are excited to learn regarding new AI technologies, then this webinar is for you. In Must Know AI Strategies series, we are covering from automation to autonomous intelligence in business. This is going to be conducted from 2nd Feb to 6th Feb at 7:30 a.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Singapore, 7 p.m. Indian, and 8:30 a.m. EST. With that, it's time to celebrate our full champions. We have Bhanu Durgesh, Oluwaga, and B. Venkatesh with us. Thank you. Special thanks to all three of you for helping us simplify our initiative and reach it to the wider global audience. So you can also become one of our knowledge professional or advisors. What you have to do, if any of your peers, colleagues, and professional wants to join for this webinar or any other webinar, you can refer the registration link which you will find on our website. So every referral will earn you a point. And once you hit a 50 referral points, you will be able to get a free $400 worth gift certification voucher. This offer is also for a very limited time of period. So make sure you're taking the advantage of it and become one of our knowledge professionals and advisor. Also, if you would like to be one of our speakers for learning capsules for webinar and podcast, we would be happy to have you over here. So you can connect with us at pratibha@gsdccouncil.org and pritam@gsdccouncil.org. I have shared the email ID into the chat box so that you don't miss out. So these are the platform where you guys can connect with us. Our LinkedIn platform, our website, our WhatsApp group. Also, we would love to hear your session key takeaways and learning outcomes. So you can drop your suggestions and feedbacks onto the Microsoft form, which I have sent into the chat. Also, you can drop your suggestions and feedbacks on reviews.io as well. So I'm sharing all of the platforms links so that you don't miss out. Do connect with us on all of the platform for staying updated regarding our upcoming events and trends. With that, it's time to come to event end. Thank you so much once again, Charity. It was lovely having you over here, and looking forward to having you in another sessions as well. Thank you so much to all of the participants for joining into our learning journey. It was very great to have you all over tomorrow, and I'm hoping to see you all tomorrow as well. Till then, keep learning, keep energizing. Have a good day, good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are.